Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is June 11th. It's hard to believe it's already been a year since I filmed this last video that I made like this. It is time to recreate last year's video. Today we will be talking about the 24 things that I've learned by 24. I rewatched last year's video to remind myself like what it was about and how I filmed it and all that. Last year it was in my car, but it is raining this morning, so I thought we would do it in the comfort of my bedroom. So if you hear rain in the background, that would be why. But yeah, just like last year, I'm going to make this video as quick as possible. I think last year I dove deeper into some of the ones that I said and certain other ones I did not. So that will be kind of the format for this year too. Also, this is probably a stupid statement, but if these revelations or lessons that I've learned seem silly or stupid to you, please know that they are actually important to me and just that they do mean a lot to me actually, which is why I'm filming this video. This is my current diary that I am writing in. I got it at a thrift shop with all the stickers on it already, and some people in my life were like, that is totally you, Sarah, so you have to get it. So anyway, I have them written down in here because they are on my phone. But without further ado, these are the 24 things I have learned by 24. Number 1, when life forces you to slow down, take a breath and appreciate it. Number 2, you are not trapped. This is actually a quote from one of my best friends. She was saying it a lot to me during the beginning of my 23rd year. And I don't know where she got it from or if she made it up or what, but it just really resonated with me, especially at the time. I think a lot in my life situations, I get into this mentality of like, I'm stuck here, I can't get out. And just those 4 simple words really helps me get through a lot, so. Number 3, start viewing rejection as either projection, a reflection of people/situations projecting their insecurities onto you, or protection, something meant to keep you away from a path that was not meant to be, which is a TED Talk that I do have saved, so hopefully I can find it and link it down below for you guys. I think this one still resonates a lot with me to this day because I think it's so easy to view any form of rejection as obviously a negative, not fun event, but I think if we can take these opportunities to learn or to grow from them or to see that they were probably protecting us too, I think that helps us keep perspective that there's a bigger plan in the grand scheme of our life, you know? Number 4, let people's perceptions of you be wrong. It is not your job to make sure they perceive you right. Number 5, no one sees what you see, even if they see it too. This was from a TikTok that I saw. Number 6, it's okay if it is right for you, even if it's wrong for them. This was from a coworker. I really liked this quote because, I mean, obviously there are certain things that are just like obviously wrong, obviously right, but I think there's certain situations that really fall into a gray area for people, and I think this coworker of mine was really just trying to encourage me during a time where I didn't know if what I was doing was, I guess, just generally okay, and I think it was just a good reminder that like we are all on different individual paths and that it's okay if this choice that I've made is okay for me. Number 7, don't question in the dark what God has shown you in the light. This was from a women's Bible study I did, I think it was January to March-ish. I did this at my new church and I learned so much during that Bible study and got so many wonderful takeaways. I think another number later in this list is also from the women's Bible study. This quote I really loved it so much. I was like, I have to write this one down, I can't forget this one. Because maybe it's cliche, I don't know, but it's definitely easy for me to start questioning once things get hard. I'm like, I don't see where you're coming from. I don't know where the plan is in all of this, God. But there are things that like God has already shown me or taught me, or he has brought me through similar situations. And it's like things that undoubtedly I know I will get through. And it's just a good reminder. Number 8, if a flower doesn't bloom, do you blame the flower or its environment? This one I know also probably sounds cliche or like a Pinterest quote or something, but again, this one just really resonated with me. I was like, I mean, for one thing, I can't take care of plants for anything. Like currently I have 3 plants that are on the brink of death if we're being completely frank. So this isn't like I'm a gardener so I can relate to this because I'm good at taking care of plants thing, not whatsoever. This is definitely I'm a human and I can relate to the plant and not being in a thriving environment. And like with my 3 plants, I do not blame them whatsoever for not thriving. It's up to me to make sure that they get enough sunlight, that they get enough water. And I think the same applies to us, you know? I'm sure some responsibility could be placed onto us, but in your situation, if you can't think of anything better to make it better, maybe it's the environment that you're in, you know? Maybe it's a sign that it's time to change environments. Whatever that environment may entail, your needs are clearly not being met, you know? Number 9, why are you on Earth today? This was from a volunteer. I love this question so much to the point that it gets me a little emotional. This volunteer asked me this one day at work, and I don't know, I think it's just a good question to ask yourself daily. Not that I ask myself it daily, but like I think it could be used in good practice of take a step back, think about your life. Why are you on Earth today? Number 10, it has been estimated that the odds of you being here on this planet as you at this particular time, 1 in 400 trillion. Take that in. You were meant to be here. This is from a book that I read earlier this year. It's called Dodging Energy Vampires by Christian Northrup. I hope I'm saying that name right. I loved this book so much. I feel like it taught me a lot about the personalities that I have to interact with, and especially since I consider myself to be a people pleaser or even maybe an empath, I do feel very sensitive towards other people's energy and emotions. So anyway, 10 out of 10 recommend the book. As for the quote, I think it was just a good reminder that the odds of me being here as me in this current time is so wildly slim. And I truly believe you only have one life and one opportunity on this earth. And it just helped me to make me feel special, I guess, and unique. And I hope you feel the same way after hearing that. Number 11, those who do not truly love and respect you will not bother to respect or remember your boundaries. Number 12, it's more important to be happy than to be right. Number 13, the do not disturb feature on your phone will become your best friend. I know that this one is not a quote in the slightest, but truly this year of my life, I have truly discovered the depth and detailed functions of the do not disturb button. I think there's more that I could still learn about it, honestly, like all its capabilities of what you can do with it. But not only did I learn more about this feature on my phone, I have never utilized it more in my life until this year. And I think it's just because I've had a real big change in mindset of understanding my personal boundaries and when I need to respect myself enough to know that I cannot entertain other people's energy, emotions, drama, problems, etc., you name it. Or even if it's good things. Like, I think sometimes, like, I've never learned how to set those personal boundaries, and like this isn't even like necessarily the most concrete way to set them per se, but it is such a big help for people pleasers. Like 10 out of 10 recommend this feature for sure. And it's so nice too, because if people want to get in contact with you, you don't even have to say that it's on. Like, it will show them that it's on, so if they still want to contact you, they are aware that it is on. And you can just set it for chunks at a time. You can just put it for certain people. You can put it towards everybody. You could get some notifications from some apps and not ones from others. It's genuinely my new favorite part about my phone, for sure. Okay, number 14. Communication is 55% nonverbal, 38% vocal, and only 7% words. Why are we only communicating with 7%? We need to learn to value face-to-face conversations. This was the other takeaway I took from the Women's Bible Study. It was called Abide. It was by Jen Wilkins. And I think this one really ties in, especially with my goal last year of being off of social media platforms for a year. I was successfully off of it for I think a year and like 5 to 6-ish months, like about a year and a half. And it's like, to some extent, I knew this sort of already. Like I've heard similar like statements said before about communication and how we communicate with each other. Just like seeing like the breakdown of like the percentages and just being like, holy cow. I know I'm at risk of sounding old by saying this, but I feel like as a society, we've really lost touch of like how to communicate to each other again, face to face. And I'm definitely not perfect at it by any means whatsoever. But I don't know, it's something I definitely want to work on more, I think. And I think even like work on in the sense of like when people are communicating me, not face to face, like just in my understanding as I read their stuff, that they are not communicating to me at their fullest capacity, so I'm definitely misinterpreting or missing information as I'm reading it, such as body language and emotional cues and different influx in speech, you know, when you emphasize different words and stuff like that. So definitely a good reminder. Number 15, going through hard things in life can show you how silly most things in life actually are. I knew I was gonna cry at some point today, I just didn't know when. because I normally get emotional during birthdays anyhow. This one I wrote after my family and I had to put down our dog this year. Her name was Kisses, and she was a golden retriever. And it was definitely a really hard point in my life this past year. It's like one of those things that you know is going to happen at some point in your life, unfortunately, but you just don't know when. And going through it, especially with going through different situations in my life that were stressing me out, I think you just quickly realize what's more important to you in life, and that a lot of the problems that we make out of life are a lot sillier than more important things like this that can happen in your life. It was a hard lesson to learn, but I'm grateful that if anyone was to teach me that lesson, that it was Kisses. So she would definitely want me to just keep making the most out of life. And oh golly, oh my golly, okay, whoa, you'll have to forgive me. I don't think I can talk about it much longer, but yeah, very grateful for the amount of time that we got to have her in our lives. So number 16, keeping your boundaries means being nice to yourself. It does not mean you're being mean to others. In case you can't tell, there's a common thread throughout a lot of these is boundaries. I have struggled with them for literally as long as I can remember, and I think I read or saw this somewhere, and it was a really good revelation of just like, at the end of the day, they're made for you. They're made to benefit you. You're being nice to yourself by doing this. But so many people in my life had made me feel mean for doing it. And at the end of the day, it's not even for them. It's for you. So you're being nice to yourself by making them, sticking to them, etc. So number 17. Grief is truly the emotion of love continuing once someone or something you loves can no longer continue. Number 18. The world gives you opportunities every day to share kindness, on days when you feel like sharing it and on days you don't feel like sharing it. It's up to you to choose kindness. Number 19. One life, live it. This was on the back of a Jeep on my way to skydiving, actually. I don't normally pay that close attention to the back of other people's cars while I'm driving, in the sense of like reading what's on the back of their cars. But this one really stuck out to me because my motto in life for the past 4 years now has been one day at a time. And on my way to skydiving, even though I was super excited about it and it's something I've always wanted to do, seeing that quote, I definitely knew it was a reminder from God on just that, how important it is to get to live these experiences. Number 20. If I am able to conquer jumping out of a plane, I can handle whatever I have to face in life on the ground. This was pretty much an immediate realization / lesson I learned once I touched ground after jumping out of that plane. And you just learn so much about life, about yourself, when you push yourself to do these things that are, generally speaking, terrifying experiences, no matter how fun or excited you may be for them. And again, it was like I'm going through a lot in my life at the moment, and it was just a healthy reminder of like, you are so much more capable than you give yourself credit for. And literally, if you can handle jumping out of a plane at 120 miles per hour, literally hurling yourself towards Earth to the point that you had to sign a huge waiver over it, you know, then you're going to be able to conquer anything you put your mind to that is happening to you on the ground, you know? It was good. 21 is very similar, and it's because I learned it also on the same day. It's a different perspective will completely change your view on your issues / struggles in your life. This one was definitely happening after the parachute came out, and we were just kind of like, I mean, you're still falling towards the world, but but like, at least the parachute is up and you feel more secure in the fact that you will make it to the ground, you know, safely, you know. And I think this happened for 2 reasons. One, when you're just free falling, there's just so much coming at you that literally all you can focus on in that moment is the fact that you're free falling. So that once the parachute opens, it literally forces you to slow down and look around at your surroundings that are coming closer and closer to you. And 2, it was just like, again, I don't know if this seems silly or cliche, but it was like, I could see my car in the parking lot, and I was like, Sarah, look how small Honey looks from up here. Her name's Honey, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that. Like, you are currently hundreds of feet up in the air right now above this, you know? And not that honey is my biggest like stressor in life right now, but it was just like a very physical way to grasp how small everything seemed from being that high up, you know? Number 22, God truly has the ultimate plan for your life. It won't always make sense, but the pieces fall into place on his timeline, and one day it will make sense. Number 23, you do not have to stay where you are. A lot can change in a day or even a week. And finally, number 24, God will keep expanding you in ways you didn't perceive possible if you let him. I think this one is a great one to end on because I would argue it's definitely the biggest takeaway breakthrough that I've had in this past year. There's been a couple relationships in my life that I did not think were possible to mend or even possible to attempt mending, or that I was exhausted by, or just situations that I thought were, I guess, essentially hopeless and unchangeable. And especially with a couple of them, it just felt like I've been working at them for so long and like there was just no hope to even be found. But I think especially with finally finding like a home church and getting involved there and consistently praying for these relationships in my life to get better, and I guess letting go of like my personal expectations to fix them on my own accord and stuff like that, and just letting God's ultimate hand be at work with all of it, and getting to witness how amazing it is when he does work at them. It's been the biggest takeaway and the biggest lesson, and I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, those are the 24 things I have learned by 24. I'm sorry I got emotional multiple times throughout this video. I'm probably gonna get emotional one more time. I think I even said this in last year's video, but every year that it's the day before my birthday, it's always like, how has it already been a year? And like, you're telling me this is my last day of being this age and I won't ever be this age again, you know? It's like, I think that's another reason why I like filming this literally the day before my birthday, because I don't know if it just feels more raw, more authentic, more true to like the current moment of how I'm feeling right before the birthday. But as I've said multiple times on my channel, I just really like capturing my life and my experiences, and I hope you guys have gotten to enjoy tagging along and seeing this growth, hopefully. And I also like it to be a reminder for others that if they also struggle on their birthday and they cry on their birthday, that you are by no means alone. I have cried every year on my birthday for many years now, both happy and sad tears and everything in between. But I think it's hard because you tell yourself that that's not normal, I think, for most people who struggle with their birthday, because like it's meant to be this like such a joyous experience, and it's okay for you. It's just a day that you have to get through, you know? And like I always try to encourage people, it's important to do whatever it takes for you to feel special on that day. It's okay if your special looks different from someone else's special. For me, for the past 4 years, or has it been 5? I guess technically it's been 4, but this will be my 5th time doing it. My tradition that helps me to at least semi look forward to the day is to see the sunrise, and there's a whole story and deeper reason to why that is, but the general gist is that it helps me to see that is just the beginning of a new day, and that I have the whole day to make what I want out of it. So anyway, that is enough sappy talk for one video. I'm sure you guys get the point that I'm trying to make. But anyhow, if you have a birthday coming up, or you are watching this around your birthday, I hope you have a good day, but if you're not having one, that's okay too. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!